Hi, I'm Liv and I'm going to be talking about the 24 books I am really excited to read in 2024. I've written down 24 books that have either been on my TBR list for ages or that have been released in 2024, and I'm just going to talk about them, tell you a little bit about them if I know anything about them, and just talk about books basically. Number one is King of Sloth by Anna Huang. So this book is in the Kings of Sin series, which is a spin-off from the Twisted series, which I love. This one I'm pretty sure is Sloan and Xavier? That might be wrong, but Sloan is like this power woman and he is her client and he is constantly making her work more difficult, and that's the kind of dynamic they have with each other. I have no idea anything else about it. I've seen the cover because they released the cover and what the title was going to be. So the cover, it's got a stopwatch on it, not a stopwatch, a pocket watch. Very, very excited, and all the groundwork has been laid out for the other characters as well, who do pop up in the books anyway, the other girls, so I love that. I'm very excited for that to be released next year. Next is one that I actually have already, and it's actually here. This one is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. So this one follows on from Icebreaker, and I was gonna read this last year, well, this year, 2023, but I didn't get time. By the time I got it, I was already like in amongst all the other books that I was reading. I'm really excited to read this, and I just love the picture and the cover. I just think it's beautiful. Spicy, it's set at a like wilderness sort of stuff, and they're camp counselors. They slept with each other not long ago as like a one-night stand, and they're reunited with each other at this camp, and there's like sparks flying. I just love it, and look at the cover, like oh, I just love that idea. And I love Hannah Grace's writing. I just think it's really good for saucy, spicy books. Next is Iron Flame. I also have that one out. It's Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is a big book. I'm really excited to read this book. It honestly looks massive and it looks really intimidating, but I'm very excited. I loved Fourth Wing, so this is like a fantasy series. There's dragons, it's a romantasy, so there's like romance as well. The big plot twist that happened in the last book, and I really need to see what's gonna happen. This is a part of the Empyrean series. There's also a third book coming out. I think it's a 3-part series, and I don't know what the third book's gonna be about because I haven't read this one yet, obviously. But I really want to read this book this year because Fourth Wing took me so long to actually read that book, and when I did, I was very happy. I did a reading vlog on it. Next is another book I already have here. So this book is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This book is another fantasy, and it's also a romance at the same time. This book, it's giving Hunger Games. She doesn't have any powers, but people who didn't have powers were like eliminated a long time ago. She saved somebody and she doesn't have any powers, and when she gets entered into like a contest or a tournament or something, she's gonna have to reveal that she doesn't have any powers. And is everyone gonna look at it differently? Are there gonna be consequences? Like, what's gonna happen? I'm excited. I did read a little bit of this. I've got 20 pages in and I was like, oh my god, this is really good, like I'm getting hooked. But I was already reading too many books at the time, so I did put it to the side because I wanted to appreciate this book properly and read it on its own instead of reading it amongst loads of other books. Next one is a supernatural book. So this is The 7-Year Slip, and it's by the same person who wrote The Dead Romantics, and it's also a book that I want to read as well, so that's my number 6. So 7-Year Slip and Dead Romantics are 2 books I want to read. And Dead Romantics is, there's a girl and her boss ends up dying and she sees his ghost, and she's trying to figure out why he's died, and he's trying to show her that just because somebody wrongs you doesn't mean that love's lost forever. So they're both trying to help each other out, and then I'm pretty sure she ends up falling for him, but he's dead, so what are they gonna do? It's honestly gonna be like a heartbreaking book, I'm pretty sure. And then 7-Year Slip is this girl is going through a real rough time, and she goes to her family cottage and she sees a man there, but it's somebody who is stuck 7 years in her past, and she is 7 years in his future, and it's like this time window. So they're both very like supernatural, but not too supernatural. They're like regular books with a bit of like added magic in there, added supernatural stuff in there, which I do think I will appreciate. Next is one that actually got a Goodreads award, and that is Happy Place. I think it's by Emily Henry, and this one is, there are these 2 people who've been dating for ages, and they have like a friendship group that they're both in, and they go on holiday like every year as a big group, and these 2 people have broken up, but they haven't told their friends. So they're gonna have to pretend that they're still together whilst they're on holiday. And it's just about them having like a fake dating, which I love that trope, like I love fake dating. Maybe they get close together and maybe sparks start flying again. But I love that idea that they're already like had a past, broke up, and then maybe like something starts happening again. I just love that idea. And I've never read anything by Emily Henry, but apparently her romances are really good. And also it got a Goodreads award, so probably gonna be a really good book, hopefully. Next one is a very much anticipated read of mine. So this is the Acotar series. I'm really wanting to read this series this year, at least start it. So this is a fantasy. I know virtually nothing about this book series. All I know is it's a fantasy, and there's romance in it. That's it, that's all I know. But I know that it is very much enjoyed online, and people say it's very immersive, and that's what I like. I like an immersive book, so if it's immersive, then that's all I need, because as long as you can like immerse me in, like Hawthorn did that to me, and Powerless started to do that to me within 20 pages. Six of Crows did that to me. Like, if you can like really drag me into a story, perfect. Next book is by Amber Smith, and that is The Way I Am Now. I read the other books. This is a sequel to The Way I Used to Be. Now, trigger warnings now. This book is about, I'm just going to give you 3-second trigger warning. 3, 2, 1. This book is about essay, and a girl gets essayed in The Way I Used to Be by her brother's best friend. And we see 4 chapters, 4 parts, and in each part, she loses a part of herself. So it's her trying to get a boyfriend, and she loses herself with trying to do that, and she's trying to become someone who she doesn't realise and like, doesn't recognise. And it was a really hard book to read, I will be honest, and I read it in my reading emotional books. It really took a toll on me, like it really hit me hard. And so a new book came out last year in 2023, and it's called The Way I Am Now. And this book is where she gets a second chance with the boy who she tried to have a relationship with in the first book. He understands now why she acted the way she did, and he wants to help her every way that he can. It's like a trial for the brother's best friend because he's done this to other girls before, and there's just loads of stuff that's gonna like clean up and finish what happened in the first book. And it's so anticipated for me, and I'm just so excited to read it. And I didn't get to read it in 2023. I think I was a bit apprehensive, like because it is such a hard-hitting book, but I really want to sit down and read it and just cry and get it out. Next one, I actually managed to buy for 99p, and that's Divine Rivals. So on Kindle, on Amazon, I was scrolling around, and I've been wanting to get Divine Rivals for a while, and it was like 12 quid. And then it said Kindle Day, 99p, so I got it for 99p, so that's amazing. It's on my Kindle now. Set in World War II, but it's also fantasy elements. So I don't really know what to expect, but this girl works for like a newspaper, I think, and she has a rival, and she's writing her brother letters that she can't send to him because she doesn't know where he is, and he is fighting. And her rival ends up reading these letters and getting close to her in a way, like understanding what she's like without actually becoming friends with her because he's reading her letters. That's all I know about it, so I'm very, very excited. I love like war settings, like I really like them. I read The Things We Leave Unfinished, and I loved that book. It's amazing, so I'm very, very excited for that book. I just want to read it. It's been around for quite a while. I think it got an award. I think it got Best YA Fantasy, I'm not sure, but I do think it got a Goodreads award, I'm pretty sure, but I'm very, very excited to read that book. Next is a book I actually got for Christmas, so Caravel. So this is by Stephanie Garber. So I recently bought Once Upon a Broken Heart, and everyone says to read Caravel first, so I've got Caravel, and it's like a show or something. Yeah, it's a show, and they're all trying to get a prize. It's a wish. Apparently it's like a romance. I love the covers, by the way, they're so pretty. I really know nothing about this. It's a fantasy, I know that, but I'm very, very excited to read. Next is Hawthorn Legacy. I read the Inheritance Games, and I liked it. I gave it like a 4-star, and I really want to read the Hawthorn Legacy because I bought the rest of the Hawthorn books, so I'd love to finish the Hawthorn series this like 2024. But overall, I really would like to read Hawthorn Legacy because apparently it's actually the best book in the series. Hawthorn series, by the way, is very like mysteries. So riddles, clues, and you're trying to figure out the truth, cogs are turning. It's not really deep or anything. It's not that hard to follow either. Yeah, it's just a good one. but apparently the second one is like really good, so I really want to read it. Next one is Anxious People. I have not seen anybody talk about this apart from Jamie's Library, who's a YouTuber, and Anxious People is there's always people who are stuck together and somebody is trying to rob the bank and they're all stuck together because of this happening, and they've all got different things happening in their lives, and we find out about all the different characters. So that's all I know, but that sounds quite interesting. Like, we find out about all these different characters, there's like high stakes, and yeah, I'm just quite like interested in that. I feel like it could be a good read, something different to other things that I've read. Like, I've never read anything like that before, and I love to read recommendations from YouTubers that I enjoy watching because they usually recommend things that I end up really enjoying. So yeah, I want to give it a go. Next one is a book by Holly Jackson, and that is 5 Survive. So this book I have really looked at and I really like the look of it. 6 friends all go somewhere, and as they're on their way, their car breaks down and somebody with a sniper is out to kill one of them, and only 5 of them survive it and make it out alive. Secrets come out and they've all got things that have happened that they've not told each other about, and it's just one of those types of books, and I think I'm very excited for like a thriller type book. I think I'm craving one. Next is a continuation from a series that I read. So this is the Miles High series, the Miles High Club, and there's a series coming up from that which is the Mr. series, which is Mr. Garcia, Mr. Masters and Mr. Spencer. So the first one is Mr. Masters, and these are all the friends of the Miles brothers, so I'm very much excited to read them. It's just a billionaire romance series. Archer's Voice is next, and this book I've been told is a really nice romance and it's also emotional, so I don't really know what to expect at this point, but I'm very, very excited for it. It says how Archer can't communicate with anybody, but he communicates with her, so I don't know what that means, but I virtually know nothing about this book apart from that people cry about it, and then other people are like, how are you finding this emotional? Like, it's just beautiful. Like, I basically have no idea what this book is really about. I just know it's a romance, and I'm very excited. Also very nervous, but I want to read it because it's always on my mind of like a book that I really want to read, so I want to read it. Good as Dead is next, and this is by Holly Jackson, and this is the last book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. This is the biggest book, and I'm very excited. So this one, Pip is the centre of the book, as in she is the one that this person is hunting, and her life may be on the line, and he's hunting her basically, or she's hunting Pip. I love the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. The second one was my favourite one so far, and I also love the first one. They were both 5 stars to me, and I just really want to finish the series and just end it. And I'm really enjoying it, but I really want to read the last one. Really love that series. Next one is another series I need to finish, and that is the 6 of Crows series. So I need to finish that with Crooked Kingdom. Crooked Kingdom I'm a bit nervous for because originally I had no idea what it's going to be about. I thought they're going to save Enedge and that was about all I knew about it. But then apparently people said it's really emotional. So I'm kind of really nervous now because 6 of Crows wasn't exactly emotional. And so I'm really nervous because I'm really attached to these characters now. But very excited to read it and get, finish that series off. And then move on to like the King of Scars and King of Wolves and stuff. Rule of Wolves, that's it, because there's like other sub-series from Leigh Bardugo. The next one is a new upcoming book that I am so excited for, and that is Where's Molly? So this is by D Carlton. So if you recognise our author, he wrote Haunting and Hunting Adeline. This book is in that series. So Molly, if you don't remember, is the girl that when Adeline was captured, Molly was the girl in the notes. So if you remember, there were little letters in the pages of somebody explaining their time there, and all of a sudden they stopped. That girl was Molly. So we're finding out what happened to her. Did she escape? Where is she now? All that stuff. Very excited. I loved Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Those books play on my mind all the time, so I am so excited for Where's Molly because that's going to be a good book and it's so anticipated. I didn't even know it was coming out until someone put it on TikTok and they were like, are you busy February something? And it was like, no, I'm reading this book. And I was like, hang on a second, look at the description. And it's the same like universe because it's the person from those notes. Next leads on from the Caravel series, and it's Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is like a fairy tale fantasy, that's what I've been told. It's not a generic fantasy, it's fairy tale, that's what I've been told specific. And I know there's romance, and I bought the first 2 books. I really love to read Once Upon a Broken Heart after the Caravel series. I really want to read it because everyone's hyped it up, and I like the look of it. So, and I've seen loads of like pictures of like how they anticipate the characters would look and stuff. So I've got an idea of what the characters would look like. So I'd like to read. The next one is another upcoming. Actually, all of the next ones are upcoming things that are coming out. So the next one is Daydream by Hannah Grace. So this is the next book after Wildfire. So obviously I will need to read Wildfire first. But this book is about Henry, if you remember who Henry was, and his romance. So I'm very excited for that. I also really like the picture for this book. Next is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. And I adored Better Than the Movies. Nothing Like the Movies is a sequel to Better Than the Movies. So I have no idea what this book's about again. It's a romance, I know that, but I did like the first one. It was great, and I thought it was a good book. It made loads of references to other rom-coms, loads of British rom-coms as well, and I just thought it was a really good all-around book. So I'm very, very excited to read Nothing Like the Movies. Love Unwritten comes out as well, which is by Lauren Asher. So Lauren Asher might be a familiar name because she wrote the Dream and Billionaire series, and she's also currently reading the Lakefront Billionaire series, which, did I say reading? She's currently writing, and the Lakefront Billionaire series currently has 1 installment, and that is Livery Design, which I adored. I gave a 5-star. I love that book. And she is writing this book, Love Unwritten, which is the 2nd book, and she's also got a 3rd book scheduled as well. So I'm very excited. I actually don't know who is in this book, but based on Lauren Asher's writing, I am just so excited to read it, because this new Lakefront Billionaire series, it's very much similar to Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs series, which I didn't see coming, but I read Love Redesigned and I was like, why is this feeling so familiar? And it's because it's very similar to the Chestnut Springs series. So very much gonna be anticipating this 2nd Lakefront Billionaire series, because I loved Love Redesigned so much. All the family members have been set up, all the characters, and I like the world as well. I love the place it's set. The last book that I want to read is The Reappearance of Racheal Price, and this one is by Holly Jackson. So this one's meant to be similar to like the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and that's sort of like mysteries. So I'm very excited because I have been, as I've said, enjoying the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I just think it's written very well, and I like Holly Jackson's writing. So I'm very excited to maybe try that book, give it a go. But I do love a mystery, and I just want to give it a go. I want to branch out this year with book choices. But that's everything. I hope you have enjoyed. Those are our 24 books that I would like to read this year. Hope you have enjoyed. Tell me down below some books that you'd like to read, and I'll see you guys next time in another video. Go check out last week's video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.